And so I think it's important that you understand the clinical trial process. I'm not saying that the pill is bad. I just want you to think about how to make health decisions for yourself. You want to be especially vigilant, especially staying on top of it. Once I got the information I needed, I started to move in that direction, how to make health decisions for yourself.
In your mind, what would you say to brothers that's not vaccinated or just people in general?
I'm glad to hear you are protected, and thanks for being so honest here on Keeping It 100, because that's what we do. Hey y'all, welcome to Keeping It 100, where we have these very open and honest conversations about health topics that matter to our community. I am your host, Dr. Kristin Motley, and always we have a great show. It's even greater because I am joining live from Jamaica, man. So I got here yesterday. We're having a good time so far. The first time without the kids in over 3 years. Man, blah, out here living our best life. So this will be fun. Now, if you think about questions or if you have something to say during the show, please drop it in the chat. My very good friend, Tyan Thomas, Dr. Tyan Thomas, and colleague, she's my friend and colleague. She is going to keep an eye on the chat and make sure that your questions get answered. So let's bring in my co-host, the amazing George Mink Jr., street practitioner.
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Hey, man. I got off the plane. It was like, welcome home. Wow. I was like, I'm glad to be home.
Wow, nice. You like enjoy. You deserve it. Like,
thank you. We having a good time out here. But yes, I wanted to make sure that we still kept the people informed. As long as I got an internet connection, we're gonna have a show. Right. So we good to go. On Monday, I know we did a Labor Day event with Local 413. I didn't stay the whole time. I just went to help set up, and I was out trying to get ready for this trip. But gee, how was the event?
Man. Great day. Great event. That's actually that's that week before. That's P and Josh. That's me. I got my new booster.
You got the new.
I had to do the no look on him. That's my brother from Papa Doc Enterprises. Good brother. We had a nice staff that day. They go to the team. Hey, what's up, guys? Just a great day though. We vaccinated about 12 to 15 people.
That's awesome.
We had some new vaccination folks on the list.
That's great.
Great event though. Great event. Some good brothers down there. Great energy. The energy was definitely in the city. We really needed. I really like the vaccination clinics. That's my peeve. I like my forte. I love the vaccination clinics.
Yeah, it's nice. For me, the thing that does it for me is people that come for the first time, because these vaccines have been available for almost 2 years. And so these are people that are just deciding at that moment while we're there to get vaccinated. And that just does it for me. So shout out to Mark Freeman for inviting us to come out and partner on the event. We appreciate it, and we appreciate any opportunity that we get out to go into the community and to really make a difference, because that is what Health Educated is about. That is what we're about. And so we're going to keep it moving.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it moving. Now, last week we announced that we're not going to do any more COVID specific shows. So we're not going to do those each week, but I am going to update you all on changes and new things that are happening with COVID, because I got to make sure my people know what's going on. So this FDA and the CDC released guidance on the new Omicron booster last week. So it's being shipped around the country and places are getting it. So I have some opinions about it, but we're not going to talk about that today. I just want to say, people, just get vaccinated. Just get vaccinated and get your boosters. This is really, really, really important that we stay protected. We know that the vaccine works. We know that it's safe. You can watch the last 25 episodes of Keeping It 100, and we've talked about it. We have brought on as many people as we could who are working in the field, hands-on with the vaccines and with the research and with the medical community. So all the information is there. Everything you need to know about it It's already been laid out for you. So just go back and watch our previous episodes. Just people, please get vaccinated. There's no need for us to die at higher rates than other people because we're not vaccinated. And the vaccine is free right now. It's not going to be that way long. The government has run out of COVID money. They are going to have private insurance pay. So who knows how much it's going to cost us. And people that don't have insurance, I'm really concerned for people that don't have health insurance. If you have to pay for the vaccine out of pocket, how much is that going to cost? We don't know yet. And so it's free right now. Take advantage of it now, because it's not always going to be free. And so I last read that by the end of the year, the government is not going to be paying for COVID care. It's going to go on private insurance. And if you don't have insurance, you're going to have to pay for this stuff on your own. And while it's free, take advantage of it. I don't know, George, what you think about it?
Hey, I mean, definitely. I mean, I guess they feel like it's our time. We're on our own. It's enough, I guess, information on COVID and the vaccine, even though we're still learning new things, different variants. But I mean, that's just to be on the safe side, to be able to stay in the community and do events and do things or whatever your livelihood entails.
Yeah.
That's important, especially while it's free, because it's definitely coming. I mean, they definitely setting us up. They let us know when they lifted them guidelines that we're not babysitting y'all no more.
That's true.
We're not breastfeeding y'all no more on this thing. Y'all on your own. So
that's true.
Yeah.
You off the bosom, handle your business, and kids are back in school. We don't want kids to be, classrooms to be shut down. Who has time to be taken off work to sit home with kids? And they need to be in school learning. So as much as we can do to keep things normal, which means get vaccinated, I think we just have to do it. Yeah. All right, so that's all we're going to talk about on COVID today. Today's show is a stroke show, because the head, the HNIC of CMPradio.net, had a stroke. I don't know if anybody knew about that, but I want to talk about stroke in the Black community before we even bring him on. In general, about 800,000 people in the U.S. have a stroke each year. So that's just in general. Every 40 seconds, somebody has a stroke. Wow. About every 3 minutes, someone dies from a stroke. That's general. When we look at the Black community specifically, Black people are 50% more likely to have a stroke compared to white people, their same age. Black men specifically are 70% more likely to die from a stroke compared to white men their age. That is a big deal. Stroke is a big deal. It's one of the number one killers, and it can be prevented in a lot of cases. So, drum roll, please. Let's bring in our special guest. Uncle Pete is joining us today. The whole vibe. Yes.
This guy.
My bad. What's up, family? How y'all feeling?
Hey man, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm coping.
Yeah.
Getting through. Good. Well, thanks for coming on, and thanks for being willing to share your story, because I believe that when what you have to say to the people and what you have to share will help change other people's lives. And so thank you for being vulnerable. I know that you haven't talked about this much to anybody, and I got the exclusive interview. So I appreciate
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll be waiting on my check.
He always waiting on that check.
It's like having a baby. When a celebrity has a baby, they hold the baby, they cover the baby up. You feel me? I'm not exposing myself for that reason. I'm not getting paid for it. So
Oh wow. Wow. Okay. Thanks. So
that's y'all paying me. We ain't talking. You just keep waiting on that check, bro. You just keep waiting on that check. But for real, thanks for coming on. It's a really important topic. I mean, when a thing is the number one killer of people, we need to be talking about it. Like, we need to be having this conversation. So I just want to first start talking about the risk factors for stroke. And when we talk about a risk factor, these are things that make it more likely for you to have something, or make it more likely for something to happen to you. So on the screen, you see the risk factors for stroke. So people who smoke cigarettes, people who have uncontrolled high blood pressure, people who have high cholesterol, they're overweight, obese, they're not active, people with a family history of having a stroke, or people who have had a stroke in the past has a higher risk of having another stroke. People with diabetes, say older people are at higher risk of having a stroke, and race has a factor too. So we just heard the statistics, and being Black or African American also increases your risk factors for stroke. So we talk about these things because we want you to know what are the things that make it more likely for this thing to happen to you. We kind of talk about risk factors in two categories: modifiable or changeable, or the things that are non-modifiable or can't be changed. So we talk about the things that can't be changed. We can't change our race. We can't change our age. We can't change our family history. But there are things that we can change. We can change how much weight, how much we weigh. We can change how much physical activity we engage in a day or a week. We can change if we smoke or not. And so the things that we can change are the things that we want to make an impact on to decrease the chances of a stroke or any other health conditions having an effect on us. So I wanted to talk about the risk factors real quick. Do y'all have any questions about that before I go on?
No, I just identify with all those risk factors, right?
Yeah. I think we all do.
A lot of us do. And so knowing the risk factors help us to know how we need to move to decrease our risk. Because if we don't do anything about it, then we just, have a higher chance of that thing, a stroke or heart attack or whatever it is happening to us. So I just want to kind of go through our journey together, P, because I think that helps to frame what happened when you told me you had a stroke. So I contacted you, I think it was like December or January, about doing a webinar, like a COVID talk on the station. Like we really hadn't talked prior to then, and we had a good conversation. Eventually, you ended up telling me that you had insurance, but then it was dropped and you didn't have a doctor. We talked about you going to Chest Penn, and you was like, nah, I ain't going there. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna help you find a doctor. So I connected you with my doctor, but you didn't have insurance, and they said it was going to cost like $500. Then I had to call corporate, and then it was this whole thing and trying to get you to see him and not have to pay a whole bunch of money. So they finally scheduled the appointment. And I text you, I said, your appointment is good. And then I feel like you texted back and said, I just had a stroke.
Yeah.
I was like, it's crazy.
It was a crazy feeling. The whole situation leading up to going to see the doctor was crazy. Mm-hmm. For the last 5 years, I've been working without medical insurance. I've been working without seeing the doctor. I've been working without, doing what I should be doing. And, I was in here drinking alcohol and smoking cigarettes and stressing and being mad and being upset over things that I couldn't control. And I think it took a toll on me. I was already diagnosed with high blood pressure, by my previous primary care doctor, and he prescribed me pills, and I'm not taking that. Everybody tell me it's gonna mess with my wang. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm good.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
Right. Yeah. Wang over the stroke, bro. Like, if I got the stroke, then I already know it's done. It's done.
Not trying.
But I'm not gonna take that and dummy down my mans. My mans need to be on point. So that was my thing with that. I talked to my grandfather. He said, take your medicine. I said, I wasn't trying to take it. Friends, family, take your medicine, P. And I wasn't trying to take it. So what happened was, I want to say about 6 months ago, I was here at the station. I was working on some stuff and I couldn't see. You feel me? And I was like, just looking around. I was like, all right, something's wrong, right? And I just got up and I felt for the bed, and I just laid down and I went to sleep, right? And I woke up the next morning and I could see again. No, I called Kenny because that was the last person I talked to. So I opened my phone and I said, Siri, call Kenny, and I was like, yo, bro, I can't see. He said, man, stop playing. I said, I'm just gonna lay down, you feel me, and go to sleep. So that's what I did. Woke up the next morning, everything was fine. So that was the first warning sign that my body, that first check engine light came on. It's like my car now. I had a check engine light come on for my thermostat. Now I need a tune up. So now the light's flashing. So it was like, damn. So when I actually had the stroke, you know, I was going through a couple things. I felt slower before. I didn't really like talking around a lot of people. And this was like weeks after, right? I was like, you know, I'm trying to say things and it's not coming out fast enough. You know, I'm like, why am I thinking about this? And I can't say what I want to say. So I became very quiet. A lot of arguments between different people were happening, and I wasn't really involved in the argument. I was more like playing the background. And I think the stroke probably started the day before, you know, because I went to TGI Fridays, and I had a shot of liquor and a beer, and I was super drunk. Like I was like, yo, like what was in that? Like I never felt like that before.
Right.
And I left, and I was driving. I was falling asleep behind the wheel. You know what I mean? I was super tired. I was yawning. I was like, man, what's wrong? So I just came here and I laid down and I went to sleep. And woke up the next morning, still feeling a little tired, but that's typical, right? I have sleep apnea, so you know I don't really get a good night's sleep. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm doing all this stuff and I'm running constantly, right? I'm going on 100 constantly. So when I had the stroke, I was sitting in the station and I was talking to Raheem King on the phone, and he talking to me, and I'm like, he said, what? And he was like, bro, you all right? And in my head, I put my head back. I said, I'm having a stroke. You feel me? Immediately. I went into the other room. I just got my daughter from her mom. I came up the steps. And, you know, going up and down the steps and overexerting myself, you feel me? Like that it had a lot to do with it. But I'm still here. I'm still grinding. That's how I felt at that time. You feel me? I'm still moving. So I'm good. But when I went to talk, it just wasn't coming out right. I'm talking to Leslie. I'm like, yo, I need to go to the hospital. My whole thing about that moment was my daughter. You know, I had my daughter at the time. You feel me? And she can't really talk. So I'm like, I start crying and getting upset over her. I sit down. I'm like, I'm trying to tell Leslie, chill. You know, let me figure out what I'm doing about Jordan, but it's not coming out right. You feel me? Like, I'm trying to call Jordan's mom. She don't understand what I'm saying, right? So it's just back and forth, back and forth. Finally, you know, the ambulance comes because Leslie called the ambulance. I said, just take me to the hospital. But the ambulance comes. I get on the ambulance. They telling me I got to go. I didn't want to go to Crozier. I'm not going to Killer Crozier. I'm good. You feel me? It's not that. I go in there for something minor and come out with missing my whole head. You feel me? So, you know, I'm like, I'm not going there. I wanted to go to Riddle. But, you know, time was of the essence. And that's all they kept saying. It's important that you get there now. It's important that you get there now. The longer we wait, the worse this could be. You know, and I was just like, yo, if y'all kill me, bro, I'm going to haunt y'all. I told them, if I die in that joint, I'm coming for you and your kids and everybody going to know who I am. I'm going to be that butt-naked ghost just running through your house. But, you know, I was real. I got into the emergency room and I was just crying, bro, because I felt as though everything I had worked for, I saw it. I saw it crumbling, and I was like, "Damn, man! Like, that, who's going to do what I do for the station? Nobody. You know what I mean? Who's going to continue to grind and go as hard as I go for people out here in the community? Nobody. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, I was worried about all that stuff, and it really and that could have made the situation worse. You feel me? Because I'm stressing. You feel me? So the doctor came in. He told me to chill. He gave me some medicine. He said, "Listen, this to calm you down, and here's your blood pressure medicine, amlodipine." You feel me? He gave me all that stuff, and literally, I still couldn't talk. Try to talk to my sister. Try to talk to Leslie. And then Jordan's mom came in, and everything went clear. You feel me? And I was having a conversation with her, and I was saying to her, and she was like, "I ain't trying to hear that." You feel me? And I get it. We were going through something at the time, and she left. You feel me? And as soon as she left, it was right back to it. I couldn't say nothing. Wow. You know what I mean? So it was like the doctor came in and said, "Well, she could be one of the reasons that you're stressing." You feel me? Over her. You feel me? So you need to talk to her. Y'all need to talk, but like just talk later. Get yourself together first before you try to have another conversation with her. So, you know, just understanding, like, you know, tomorrow's not promised, and take your health seriously. Like, if you have high blood pressure, take your medicine, man. Don't worry about the weight. They got honey. They got all types of, you know, all types of pills out here to help the brother pump him back up. You feel me? And at the end of the day, if it ain't working, it ain't supposed to work. You feel me?
So like I want to go back to that, the fact that you were prescribed medicine, you heard about the side effects, or you experienced the side effects, and you was like, I'm not taking this.
No, I never experienced the side effects.
Okay.
I just heard about it.
Correction.
My bad. Keep it clear on my end. You heard the side effects, and that was like, I'm not taking this medicine because I don't want this to happen to me. And I think that happens a lot. Yeah. And the next step from that is to go back to the doctor that prescribed it and just to share that, to communicate, I'm concerned about this medicine because of that, and get the clarity that you need, because there's a lot of different medications that can be tried a lot of times, or they can provide you with strategies to help prevent that particular side effect. So I think the point that I want to make there is to have an open, honest communication with your healthcare provider, because there's always, 10 ways to skin a cow. So we can get your blood pressure down. We may just have to change the medication or something like that. So I wanted to point that out. I also wanted to go back to the signs. You said that you were having difficulty speaking and kind of getting your thoughts out. So I wanted to share some more information about stroke for when people are around other people and see something and you don't know what's happening. I want you all to be looking out for this. So the signs of a stroke, we think of the acronym. The word is FAST, F-A-S-T. So the first thing you may see in a person is their face is drooping on one side particularly. And what you'll do is you can ask that person to smile. And if you ask them to smile, but one side of their face is doesn't move, that's a sign that they could be having a stroke. Next is the arm weakness. You may have a person that feels weak or tingling or funny on one side, and you can ask them to raise their arms. And if they can't raise one of them as high as the other one, or if they can't raise it at all, that could be a sign of a stroke. Another one is speech difficulty. And here's what you experience, where you're trying to say something and you know what you want to say, but you just can't get the words out. That's another sign of a stroke. And if you see these things happening, if you see one of these happening, it could be that a person is having a stroke. You call 911 immediately. And if you are the person that's experiencing this, if you can, you call 911 for yourself immediately. And yes, time is of the essence. You need to get to the closest hospital as quick as possible, because there are medications that can be given in enough time that can bust the clot that has formed and prevent you from having like long-term complications of stroke. But you have to get there within a certain time period. And that's 3 hours, but that's not important. The important thing is to know the signs and to act right away. Thanks for sharing that, because I wanted to make sure that our audience knew, what to kind of look for. George, do you have any questions for P?
Well, I mean, just let me start. I was saying happy 5th year, bro. Glad you're here, man.
Appreciate it.
Wow, celebrating your 5th year. I already know what it takes, blood, sweat, and tears, building a corporation and great establishment over there, your name, your brand. But I mean, as we go back to that day, I talked to you, bro. Like I called you out of nowhere just to get out your check-ins, and you told me you had a stroke, and my heart dropped, bro. Right. Like I look at you as like my center. I always call you my Shaq. Is like I can't believe my big man is down. So just going back to something you said, like the stressors is really what the real trigger to me, like especially in an average day of a black man. That's how I look at our lifestyle. Right. Like especially a man trying to build, and like even with me, my nonprofits, the different organizations I'm affiliated with, even for women, but with black men, we take on a little more stress, I feel like. Right. And then if your home life is not super peaceful, all that contributes to eruption, and then your body gave out, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? So we already know, like, the factor of your stroke basically came from stress. We can say that was like at least the first half of it. Absolutely. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that I live a stressful life. Listen, I ran the streets. That was stressful in itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hustling and ducking the police and ducking the stick-up boys. But when I changed my life, right, there was no real direction for me. So that's stressful in itself. You know, and I jumped into owning a radio station and doing business with people that I thought were friends and family. That's stressful in itself, right? Because I've never been in a legitimate business relationship with anyone. You know what I mean? So going into that, understanding stresses, understanding that it ain't no difference between hustling and running a business, bro. Like people are just as backstabbing, people just as jealous, people just as smile in your face and do whatever they want. But I understood that, and that's stressful in itself. Then we talk about 5 years of dealing with all these stresses, trying to build the station, trying to build a foundation, trying to get people to align right so that things can be moved down the street is extremely stressful. Then I got the job with the DA. You know what I mean? Working with them and trying to understand them and moving forward with them. That was extremely stressful. You know, it's like, oh man, I don't know. What am I doing? What is going on? Right. And so for me, it was just a culmination of all of those things, right? You know, working in the community, saving the radio station, you know, and then my personal life. You know, I have 4 women that I share children with. You feel me? I'm not calling my baby moms because I don't like that word, but you know, and every day is something wrong somewhere, right? Somebody needs this, somebody needs that, and I can't possibly split myself into 4. I wish I could. You know what I mean? So I could everybody can have what they want. But you know, that's stressful in itself. Then you know we're dealing with another situation. So it's just like after every situation is over, it's another situation on top of that. So it was stressful climbing up this mountain to understand that this is what I asked for. You know, these are the games that I played when I was younger, and now all the was chickens are coming home to roost. You know what I mean? So I can't really be mad. I can't really be upset, but it's stressful in itself. So you know, I can't blame any one person or any one thing. You feel me? I feel like, you know, we deal with high levels of stress on a daily basis. And until we understand. Now I meditate in the morning. I wake up 4 o'clock in the morning. I give myself a good 45 minutes of meditation. 4:45, I'm good. I take my blood pressure medicine. You feel me? Early in the morning. You feel me? I drink my water. I've been drinking water all day. You know, like I'm eating fruit. I ate a banana for the first time in a very long time today. You feel me? Like
bananas, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, I ate a glizzy banana.
Awesome.
You feel me? So you know, and that's just where it has to be because I'm listening to different people talk about what we're eating, right? And if I'm eating beef and they tortured that animal the whole time and he was stressed, now I'm eating stressed meat. You feel me? Or if I'm eating chicken and they tortured that animal, now I'm eating stressed meat. So it's like you can't torture fruit, bro. Literally. Like you know, fruit is not allowed. It's not allowed. So I'm eating fruit, vegetables. You know, I go down to Humdiggly's. I might just get sides. You feel me? Give me some collard greens, some sweet potatoes. You feel me? Some macaroni and cheese. You feel me? I shouldn't be eating that either, but you know, but I'm trying.
In moderation, it's all good.
Right. I'm trying to come around. Right. So water, fruit, vegetables. That's what I want in my life now. And salmon. I love salmon. Oh yeah. So if anybody want to make me a salmon something? You feel me?
Salmon something.
Yeah, salmon something. Salmon burger. Salmon plant.
Cheese steak. Whatever.
That's good. I'm proud to hear all the changes you've made because I was going to ask you what changes have you made now that you've had a stroke, and so I'm glad that you covered all those things. And it's not easy making those changes because we grew up doing a certain thing. So for 30 and 40 years we've been doing a certain thing, and to just flip it and switch it is hard. And then you have people around you like, well, why are you not eating that, or why are you doing that, or why you don't eat this, and you get pressure. No, it's hard.
No, I don't get pressure because literally I looked at how I was living and what I was doing, you know, drinking. I still have a drink every now and then. I don't have a problem with having a drink. You feel me? I don't have a problem with busting it up and chilling with my whoever. But at the end of the day, I can't do it to obsess. I can't keep going past that limit. Once I feel like I'm good or I've had 3 or 4 shots, all right, I'm straight. I don't need to be drinking like that too much. But eating is critical, right? I try not to eat after 8 p.m. So if I don't eat anything, it's a wrap because I'm going to bed soon. You know what I mean? So just bringing in and keeping in all that good energy and all of that, those good emotions for me is highly critical. You know
That's
what I mean?
good. And I love that you're starting the day off with peace. You know,
Yeah.
just getting up and getting your day started off in a place of peace is so important. And it may mean for some of us getting up an extra 20 minutes before you would typically get up, just to have that time alone by yourself, to just do something for you, to get your day off on a great start. That's
Absolutely.
phenomenal, P. That really is.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Wow, that's big, man. It's just hitting to my heart over here. I mean,
Yeah, you gotta meditate, bro.
We do though. I
was
mean,
talking to somebody yesterday, and they were talking about how they're enjoying. They meditate now. You feel me? It's like it allows me to catch up to what I missed yesterday. You know what I mean? And we miss so many things, and we miss them from the day before that we try to catch up to, and we can't catch them. So we just keep trying to reach out and grabbing it. So if you slow down and let things just come to you, you feel me? And you catch it, you're like, all right, this is what I need to do today. You feel me? After I'm meditating, then I put my schedule today. What am I doing today? What do I need to get done? Who do I need to call? How many businesses do I need to get in so I can
get started?
Open, right? We getting started. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like constantly writing it down. And I understand, right? It's hard to do all of that in a relationship if you don't have a supportive partner, if you don't have a person that truly believes what you're doing is better for them. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's hard, and I'm not knocking anybody for anything. I'm just saying, like, when I got here, when I came back here, I said, you know what? I have to focus on what I want to do and what's best for me. I want to be here. I don't want to die laying on that air mattress and somebody come in here and catch me gone. You feel me? That's not cool. You feel me? Like, that's not cool for the next person to come in here and do that. You know, so I'm like, what do I have to do to help myself stay here and be healthy? And I didn't really talk about the stroke. Like, a lot of people hit me up. They was like, damn, bro, you had a stroke? I ain't know. Like what was I supposed to do? You feel me? I posted it one time on Facebook, and I said, listen, after the stroke, I'm doing things differently. I don't want to argue with nobody. I don't want to fuss with nobody. I don't want to yell with nobody. I don't want to scream at you. I don't want to do none of those things that we were doing before. And I had to talk to the women I shared children with and say, listen, how we communicated before is not going to work for me. You feel me? So if you're mad and you still upset, let's not communicate at all. Let's just do it through text. You feel me? If we can have a conversation, we can talk about what I need to do and where you need me to go. That's cool. But do not yell it at me, because I'm going to hang up on you and I'm going to block you. You know what I mean? Because that's just energy that I don't want to receive.
And it's good that you are having that conversation, because a lot of times we don't communicate how we feel and what we're thinking, and we think that people are supposed to know. And then it's like, well, why are you acting like that? Didn't you know I had a stroke? Well, you know, so for you being vulnerable and, you know, and being upfront and honest about it, this is how we need to move forward for me. And it's okay that it's for you. I think that helps to strengthen the relationship, and it makes a world of difference because you were upfront and you were honest and you communicated. We don't communicate enough. I want to shout out everybody in the chat. Everybody, thanks for watching. I see some comments coming in. Gerald said, proud of you, P, for changing your eating habits and controlling your drinking too, bro. Good job. And TJ said, blessings, P, blessings to you.
It's hard. It's hard to check. Like, I've been doing this. I'm 42 years old. I've been doing this stuff at least for the last 38 years. You know what I mean? Like, feeding myself. So, you know, it's like, I don't want to continue to eat that stuff. I miss it. Don't think I don't miss it. You feel me? Like, I can't say I'm 100% on it either. You know what I mean? Because the other night, I got a steak the other night. You feel me? It was like, all right, that's a treat. You feel me? But it's like, I don't do it every night. You feel me? I don't want it every day. I want to go to bed without my stomach being full and me forcing myself to lay down. You know, because you get that reflex. You feel me? Like, what they call acid reflux.
Right.
You feel me? And I'm up coughing, and I don't want that. So if I can't eat anything before 8, then I'm not eating, because I'm going to bed at 10. I'm going to sit here, write, and play around with some things, and then I'm going to bed. So it's important that we bring those things, and we talk about it in the community. We don't talk about nothing. We don't talk about nothing.
I know.
We just wait till something happen, and that's when we want to discuss it. So that's why
we're doing it right now.
That's why this is important, man. And that's a big part of, like, my personal walk even with my nonprofit and organizations that I work with Black men's health, man.
Right.
It's important. It's been plaguing us for decades and even, like, I mean, just to talk to you about it and know that you have to be disciplined is the most important thing. Like being disciplined and just not going along with your normal routine. So the stroke was like a wake up joint. Like no matter what you thought, no matter how you think you've been doing it, you've been a one man gang all this time. But that was definitely your check engine. Like so.
But the thing is that what I want us to do is to not have these wake up calls. Like we already know the numbers. We already know the deck is stacked against us. We don't need to have a wake up call, but for us to make changes. Like let's make the changes now. Let's not wait until we get the cancer diagnosis. Let's not wait until we have a heart attack or stroke or whatever else. Like let's make the changes now so that we don't have to experience those things. So as best as we can, I think we should, be trying to move in that direction.
Doc, you're asking for men not to think that they're Superman.
I know.
You're asking for men to really think about their weaknesses like that.
I know.
And that's not going to happen where we live at right now. I got to get up in your face to tell you that.
It might,
right?
though. It might.
No,
it can't get up in your face, bro. We need you here to be able to be Superman tomorrow.
So, like, we have to be, Black men have to be amazing. And you can't be amazing if you're constantly thinking about your weakness. You feel me? Like, Superman never really worried about kryptonite until it was in his face. You know what I mean? And that's when he was worried about it. Because if he was really worried about it, he would have figured out a plan to get it all out of here. You know what I mean?
I believe that a person can hear your story right now today and be like, you know what? I'm going to have one less cigarette today. Oh, yeah. I'm going to drink one less drink. Or I'm going to go pick up a banana. Just do something. Like, I'm not saying change your whole life. I'm just saying make a little change toward the better. That's all I'm saying.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with the Superman complex. I mean, certain leaders in the community have it. To me, not everyone.
Everybody.
But you definitely fit the bill, but we gotta take care of ourselves first, bro. I mean, 40 years is a long time to be on this earth.
That's why you think you have you need a partner that can rub your back and tell you, all right, listen, here, take your pills. Make sure you're doing this. Make sure you're doing that. You know what I mean? Like, and if you don't have a partner, you just got people that you playing around with, then you definitely got to make sure you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah,
you got to do it regardless. You have to take care of yourself regardless of who you with. If you're with somebody or not, you got to put yourself first. That is key. That is key. Like, you can't expect somebody else to care about you more than you care about yourself.
And that's pretty much what I'm saying, right? And so now I'm caring about myself enough where or more than enough, more than I ever have before. You know what I mean? Because literally, like, I have to get up in the morning. I have to be attentive. I have to do things. So I have to meditate because the day before was hard. So I know today is going to be hard. So I got to forget the day before, you feel me? So I can get to the day ahead of me. You know what I mean? The day that I'm in right now. So yeah, it's extremely important that we do these things, man. We take a couple minutes for ourselves in the morning, then we get up and we eat something, a banana, whatever, and keep on moving, right? So, I got some strawberries. I can't make no smoothies, but I got some strawberries and some bananas.
Wow. That's good, man. And your skin look good over there too, bro.
Yeah, I'm glowing over here, bro.
I see you over there, good brother.
But it's important that we start doing these things, right? There's nothing wrong with a man taking time to make sure he's straight before he walks out that front door.
It's everything right about that. Everything is right about taking care of yourself before you walk out the door. Absolutely.
We need you for that 10, bro. We celebrating 5. We need you for that 10.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna do 10.
Hey, man.
Hey, all right, so I have a quiz question for you.
Go ahead.
Here's your quiz question. What should your blood pressure be? What's your blood pressure goal?
My blood pressure goal. The last time I went to the doctor, it was crazy because it was super low. He was talking about taking me off the blood pressure medicine. It was like 112 over 75 or something like that. And I hit you back with the joint, and you was like, "Take it again."
I didn't know you was at the doctor's office. I thought you was home.
Look. She's like, "Take it again. The machine could be wrong." I was like, "Oh, guess what? I didn't take it. The doctor took. Oh, then it's right. It's right." I said, "Oh, ain't that something?"
Oh, wow.
If you thought I took it was wrong,
No
but the doctor took it right.
Wow.
Right. I'm trying to help you.
Typical black women.
You felt that I wasn't trying to help you. I'm sorry.
Typical black women. Put a white coat on. You can tell her whatever, and she'll believe it.
The doctor did it. Was fine
because he was trained. He's a trained professional to take your blood pressure. You are not a trained professional. It is reasonable.
I've been taking my blood pressure.
It's reasonable to think that you may have done something wrong. I don't want to hear, and I was doing it out of your interest, so I don't want to hear.
I know you was. See, since I've met Dr. Motley, man, she has been concerned with my health, my well-being, right? And talking to me about just the way I talk to people and I give energies off, you know what I mean? So I want to thank you, Dr. Motley, right? For constantly being that person on the side on my shoulder saying, "Pete, you take your blood pressure." She got people calling me. People call random people. She got a whole team of blood pressure checkers. You
Dr. Thomas, everybody calling you, huh?
Yo, you take your blood pressure. Like, oh, why you calling me, talking to me like that? Yeah, you feel me? Like, yo, bro, what's up, man? You take your blood? Yeah, I took it. Like, who told you? I didn't want, and I really didn't want.
Yo,
I really don't like the spotlight, bro. Like, I don't like focus. I don't like all that stuff on me. I don't want to be speaking. I don't want to do all those things. But I ain't had no choice with the radio station, right? But now I'm able to take a back seat to things and push people up front where they belong because they want the spotlight. Right. But when she called like 4 people and they calling me, you take your blood pressure medicine. I said, man, who told you about my? Listen, don't be calling me asking me no question like that. Ask me how I'm doing first. Hey, bro, how you feeling today? You good? You take your blood pressure medicine. Josh Shockley, man, that's what he do every day.
Wow.
Good job. I don't have to ask you no more because you're out here killing it. Portia, I see you, sis. Thanks for all the love, sis. Thank you.
I said, she paying you to do this? Are you getting some money?
They just love you, man. And you trust all of us. You know what I mean? So, that's like to bring some serious to it. Like,
Did you say I touched Joe?
I mean, like, come on, man.
There he go.
We care about you, bro. Yeah.
They already talking about PF.
You done impacted a lot of folks, man.
Yeah, I have. And I appreciate that. And a lot of people have impacted me as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't give blessings to people and hope to people that don't inspire hope and blessings in me. Right. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're a brother, you're a brother. If you're a sister, you're a sister. Yeah. And that's just what it is, right? And I want you to be able to achieve the height of your dream, right? I don't want anybody to settle for being underneath of somebody else, right? Anybody that has ever come here and helped me, I push them into another situation. And I'm not pushing them to get rid of them. I'm pushing them because that's their dream. That's what they want to do. Why you want to sit behind somebody while they're figuring out their dream? Trust me, when you leave, someone else will come. You know what I mean? And someone else will come. So it's okay when people leave. I used to get so upset and so mad when people left. But now I understand when people leave, that's for the next person to come in. They can't be in the same cohesive unit at the same time, right? Someone has to leave. So she left. Next person comes. Next person comes. It's in and out. It does. It does. It does. I appreciate Leslie and everything that she's doing for the radio station. Everything. Haley, Portia, you know what I mean? Like,
Portia,
y'all, I appreciate y'all, man.
You got a good team.
I couldn't do this without y'all.
Right. But we gotta lead by example, P.
We do.
You know what I mean? We representing brothers, we representing young men, and we don't even want them to get to the point where they get 40 and they have stroke or they have a signs of a stroke.
That's what I'm saying.
We want to set them up now so they can start their healthy issues, this healthy habits and all those things earlier. Yeah. So it won't even be a possibility or a heavy possibility. So
So Ty, want me to get medication reminders on a smart app?
I was going to say, for people that have trouble remembering to take their medicine, there are plenty of apps you can use. What I usually do is I just put a reminder on my phone, like an alarm on my phone every day. So so you don't have to remember. We all have so much going on. I don't remember anything. Just put it in your phone and let it remind you, and you good to go.
Right. Wow.
So thanks, Dr. Thomas, for throwing that in there.
Thanks, Doc.
Only other thing I wanted to to say is so you got your second dose of the COVID vaccine. Good job. And for anyone that got one dose and didn't get the second dose, it's never too late. Just go get your second dose. You need to
Look
be
at his face.
the vaccine.
I feel like
works.
the first dose is the reason I had my stroke for real, for real.
Oh wow! Don't start that. Don't start that, bro.
That's
Then I
not
had to start all over again. Don't start
not
that.
true. That's
What?
not true.
What? I had a stroke after I got my second dose.
You did not have
my
it
first
right
dose
after
of,
you got the dose. Stop.
I had it about 3 months later.
You just said
Yes,
how
so now you
stressed
just
you
went
were, how
backwards,
you had
bro.
all the risk factors,
But I got
how
a
all
COVID
this going on
vaccine
now.
at
The
the same
vaccine
time.
did it. Stop.
Oh, man. All right.
Like,
Just stop.
literally, so I think about that too as well, right? How many people put up, and just little things like that. Like somebody can really say that, right? I had a stroke after I got my COVID vaccine. No, that wasn't the kicker. The kicker was I had a stroke because I was stressed out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I have not had COVID ever in my life. You know what I mean? I was just literally around someone who tested positive for COVID. Doc was like, you got to go get tested every day. I went every other day and got tested. Every day I came back negative.
That's
you know what I mean? Like,
That's
so that means that COVID isn't contagious anymore.
All right.
Now we're starting a whole nother subject.
We ain't talking about COVID. We
Yo,
talking about
you got ears behind your head, but okay.
we ain't talking about COVID. I'm done with you. I just can't. I cannot.
My daughter didn't get it either, and we were right up underneath her mom. Right?
So
I was kissing her.
Can I say this real quick? And this is just my theory on COVID. I don't want to talk about it, but this is my theory. I think that a lot of people have had COVID that didn't realize they had it at some point. And this is why I say this. When I got COVID, I was at a barbecue. About 10 or 15 of us, we also got COVID. And we never had COVID before. People who was at that barbecue who had COVID before, who was doing the same things we was doing, didn't get COVID. And so what my little analysis is that more people had COVID that realized that they had it. And when you're around people who have COVID and you don't catch it, it's probably because you already had it, but you just didn't know that you had it.
Right.
So I think you probably had COVID before, but you probably just didn't have any symptoms. You were asymptomatic.
Oh, the asymptomatic. See, that's just an excuse, Doc.
It's
but
not an excuse. It's what I see happening.
I get it.
I see it happening with my eyes.
Right. You saw people. I've seen people get COVID 2-3 times since COVID's been out. I just had COVID last week. I got it again. So
not last week.
Again,
all right, Bob, we overtime. Right. I just can't.
There we go. You
George,
know, I'm always going. I'm gonna bring it back.
George, what we got coming up?
I'm not getting Omicron booster either.
Oh wow!
I was gonna ask you about that.
Oh, all right, man.
We're gonna work on that later.
I gotta get paid for that.
All right, bro. We'll see if we can.
I'll be a lab rat for a couple of dollars. I'm not gonna do it free willy nilly. Like,
right?
What's Omicron? There is no Omicron no more, right?
We'll get you some strawberries and bananas, bro. It's all right.
That's listen.
I'm just glad you got your first boosters. Like, I'm good with that.
I'm cool with that,
I'll work
bro.
on the booster later. I just wanted you to get that good, solid protection.
Completed the cycle.
Where we at?
Well, we got this weekend. We got a back to school first annual. It's going to be on Chester Waterfront. It's in honor of Abdul Salam Tyrone Trader.
Yep.
It's going to be a great event. Please come out, kids, parents. We got moon bouncing, food, face painting. We'll be out there. Great family event. Another fine, good day I can see coming in Chester. So just come on out and support. It's a great day. Bring your cameras, bring your videos. Come see me or Doc at the table, one of our teammates, and just enjoy this weekend.
Absolutely.
Yep. Well, I definitely want to support that. Ty's sister Sonia is putting that together, and so that's going to be a really, really good event down at the waterfront. Next week's show, we are going to be shooting live from Chest Pen. Y'all remember Uncle Pete said, I'm not going to Chest Pen. I'm not getting no health care. So we're going to go down to Chest Pen and just learn about the health care services they offer.
If I step foot in Chest Pen to be all throughout the city, Pierre got an STD.
So what? Who cares?
What you mean, who cares?
You know what you got. So what difference does it make?
Doc, I know a lot of things, but people know other things and don't be true. And then people get to spreading that thing, and then people listen. People listen to stuff like this.
It don't matter.
What you mean it don't matter to you? Because you're not from the street. I'm from the street, so I can't have that type of stuff next to my resume, bro.
Okay. Good night.
If the doctors and nurses got to talking about you where you are, you would feel some type of way about that. Right or wrong?
I think that I would do what I need to do to take care of my health.
Right.
I would feel some type of way. But I would still make a decision that would be, helpful to me.
It was helpful to me. I'm not going to chest pin. That's very helpful to me.
Okay. All right. That will be a chest pin, the free clinic. They do more than save STDs, okay?
Way more.
It's a free clinic.
Right, bro.
Well, we're gonna find out what they do.
We're gonna go in detail. We're gonna have some physicians. We're gonna break it down.
Absolutely.
Right.
All right, y'all. So tune in next week, live from Chest Pen. Thanks everybody for watching the show today. Hope y'all learned something.
Crazy, boy. All right, peace out.
And so I think it's important that you understand the clinical trial process. I'm not saying that the pill is bad. I just want you to think